Welcome to the next installment of my 67 GTO 4-in-1 Groups build for Blue Ox's Street Machine Group Build, Woody's Rock and Roll on Wheels Group Build, NYS Modeling's Pro Street Group Build, and Lucas E's 67-72 GTO Facebook Group Build that got the deadline extended. Whew, that's a lot of group builds. I'm showing my process of how to combine the AMT MPC 67 GTO with the AMT 67 Chevelle Pro Street. This seems to be quite a popular swap, and I hope some of the tricks I use will help you build one in the future. Last time I set the ride height, now let's figure out the interior. The Chevelle has some somewhat generic door panels, and they'll work just fine here. I do want to use the stock GTO dash, but it needed some trimming on the sides just to test fit where it needs to go. Don't trim too tight at this point, as there will be some deleting that needs to happen in a bit. I marked the side panels where the dash seemed to line up after an initial mock-up. These marks were made after I taped the side panels to the firewall and the rear package tray, and used my third hand to hold the dash in place with the body on. Now it's time for my favorite deleting tool. I previously mentioned I've been doing some of the conversion work at the local hobby shop with the building group. This is quite enjoyable, and if you have the chance to join a build group, I highly recommend it. The Chevelle's chassis comes up a bit short in the rear end and needs an extension piece. The bumper was taped in place and this area was measured for a piece of evergreen plastic to fill the gap. Adding some additional evergreen strips to this area can make it look more like the ribbing detail, similar to the kit part. Next, I added more evergreen strip to the top of the firewall. This fills the gap that was at the base of the cowl to the firewall. Additional evergreen tabs were added to locate the side panels and provide additional support to the upper cowl. More evergreen was added under the package tray to give a locating point for the rear of the side panels. Finally, the side panels were held in place and small holes were drilled to add locating pins.
So back at the bench, you can see we have door panels on. And what we hold them on with, so you see a pin. It's right there, and it's bent over. Same thing here, and tied there. It is simply beading wire. It's cheap. I just snip it off, insert it in the hole, bend it over. And then I can take the parts apart, put them back together over and over, and know that everything's going to fit and be in the same place every time. And you don't have to wait for super glue that makes a mess, white glue that takes too long and makes a mess. And you know your parts are going to fit when they go to paint. I've had to add a couple pieces of strip styrene from where we routed out the dash, and it fits in again with little pins, which I cannot see what I'm doing through the phone. Oop. Like so. And another one. And this again allows me to know that this dash is going to be in the same place, and it gives a little bit of wiggle room every time. This also allows the body to be test fitted to the chassis over and over, and I know exactly where it's going to be. The model is solid as well.
The kit glass needs the giant runner removed. I don't recommend using sprue cutters because these can cause this type of plastic to crack. I don't recommend an X-Acto either, unless you like to draw blood. I recommend a razor saw for any clear plastic work. This ensures clear cuts and your glass and fingers will appreciate you. After removing the runner, a test fit shows an excessive amount of clear material extending into the trunk area. This is in the way of everything finding a nice home. Marks are made and then the glass is taped and cut with the razor saw. We'll have more glass work later. The roll cage from the Chevelle kit was assembled per the instructions. This took a bit of time due to the cleaning up of all the mold lines. A Flexifile makes this work much easier. It fits nicely within the interior alongside the GTO dash. The package tray is a bit too long. The molded and depressed area needs to be deleted as well. Scribing tape was used as a guide, and then the scriber was used to score and snap the excess. More for the burn pile.
So one of the issues with the glass is how far it protrudes into the firewall area up under here. So I'd kind of marked it with some blue tape. You can kind of see how much non-tape that I need to remove. So what do we do with that? Yep, you guessed it. Deletion. Burn pile.
A bit more for the burn pile is the connecting runners between the windshield and the back glass. These interfere between the roll cage and the top of the roof. Again, the razor saw was used to delete on them. The Dremel could have been used as well. Just don't use scissors. This looks like a good stopping point. Next time I'll tackle that grill and make it fit, and I still have quite a few more tricks and techniques to share. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do, because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.